Femke Bol just shocked the 4x400 meters world with another brutal anchor leg. Britain came after her. The crowd believed gold was within reach and the Dutch lead almost disappeared. But when Bol reached the final bend, she found another gear that nobody else could match. Sunday night in Birmingham, the stadium was packed and 7 days of European Athletics Championships were down to the final 2 races on the track. The women's 4x400-meter relay came first and Great Britain had every reason to believe they had been the fastest qualifiers in the entire field. Their team of Yemi Mary-John, Lena Nielsen, Nicole Jurgen and Emily Newnham won their heat in 3 minutes 22.25, quicker than any other nation. They had a home crowd behind them, and on paper this Dutch team looked more beatable than usual. The Netherlands lined up with Lieke Klaver, Evelyn Sailberg and Femke Bol. Lieke Klaver took the opening leg around the bend and handed over cleanly. Klaver, who had won bronze in the individual 400 meters only 2 nights earlier, then did what Klaver always does in a Dutch vest. She attacked the back straight and passed the baton over with a lead that looked genuinely comfortable. Sailberg carried it on the 3rd leg. This is where the race turned. Jurgen, running for Britain, split at 49.9 seconds and hunted the Dutch down meter by meter in front of her own fans. By the time the batons reached the final exchange zone, that comfortable Dutch lead had shrunk down to almost nothing, which set up the exact showdown the stadium had waited for all evening. Femke Bol on the anchor leg with a British runner right beside her and the crowd screaming for blood. Emily Newnham took the baton for Great Britain, and she was not there to make up the numbers. 3 days earlier, she had won silver in the 400-meter hurdles at these same championships. In the best form of her career, she went straight after Bol from the moment she received the stick. For the first 300 meters, she sat right on Bol's shoulder, level with her stride for stride all the way around the top bend. The noise inside Alexander Stadium climbed with every step because British supporters could suddenly see a gold medal that almost nobody had predicted before the race. Then they came off the final bend. Bol changed gear. That long, upright, unmistakable stride opened up. Her turnover quickened, and the gap between the 2 women stretched out across the track with every step. By the finish line, the Netherlands were half a second clear and celebrating. The clock stopped music at 3 minutes, 21.10, a season's best for the Dutch. Great Britain took silver in 3 minutes, 21.68, with Newnham splitting a superb 49.58 on that closing lap. Italy claimed bronze in 3 minutes, 23.57. Spain finished 4th, France 5th, and Belgium 6th. And here is the detail that gets lost in the highlight clips. The Netherlands led that race from the very first exchange right through to the final stride. Nobody passed them at any point. Britain got close enough to make an upset look possible, but the Dutch never once gave up the front. Newnham ran a brilliant leg, and on that split, she would have beaten almost any other anchor runner in Europe. She simply had the misfortune of racing a woman who has spent 5 years turning the last 400 meters of relays into her own personal property. Now for the part of this story that most people missed, completely. Before these championships began, the Netherlands were not the favorites for this title. Norway were. Back in May at the World Athletics Relays in Gaborone, the Norwegian women lowered their national record twice in a single weekend and then won the final in 3 minutes 20.96. That was the fastest time any European nation had run all year. Quicker than anything the Dutch had produced. Their squad was built around Henriette Jaeger and she arrived in Birmingham in the form of her life. Jaeger delivered on that promise, too. She anchored Norway to gold in the mixed 4x400 on the opening night. Then on Saturday, she tore apart the individual 400-meter final winning in 49.04, a Norwegian record and the quickest time run anywhere in Europe this season. So, where exactly was Norway in Sunday's final? They were not in it. Norway finished 4th in their qualifying heat in 3 minutes 27.71 and missed the final altogether. The team that walked into Birmingham as European leaders never even made the start line for the medal race. Spain suffered a gentler version of the same story. They had run 3 minutes 21.25 in Gaborone, another national record, and arrived as serious title threats. In the final, they finished 4th, 3 seconds slower than their own best. Championship athletics is brutal like that. Season bests get earned across one perfect weekend on fresh legs. Titles get won across rounds in cold evening air with the pressure of a continent sitting on your chest. If you enjoy proper athletics breakdowns like this, hit subscribe. We cover the sport properly here every week, which brings us to the woman who finished the job and the strange year she has actually had. Femke Bol now competes as Femke Bol. She married Belgian pole vaulter Ben Broders in a private civil ceremony back in February and changed her competition name shortly afterwards. She also changed her event completely. Last October, only 3 weeks after defending her world title in the 400-meter hurdles in Tokyo, she announced she was leaving the hurdles and moving up to the 800 meters. Her coach, Laurent Muley, had believed for years that 2 laps suited her natural speed better than she realized. The transition did not go smoothly. She opened indoors in Metz in February and ran 1 minute 59.07, becoming the first Dutch woman in history to break 2 minutes indoors. Then a foot injury shut her indoor season down, and she did not race again anywhere for 4 straight months. By the time she reached Birmingham, she had completed a grand total of 4 professional 800-meter races in her senior career. 4. And she was walking into a final containing the Olympic champion and the fastest woman in the world this season. She finished third in 1 minute 55.54, equaling a Dutch national record that had stood untouched since 1992. Audrey Werro of Switzerland won it in a championship record. Keely Hodgkinson took silver in front of her home crowd. That was Friday night. 2 days later, Bol was asked to go back to a single lap, an event she had barely raced all season, and hold off a hurdles medalist in front of a British crowd desperate to see her beaten. Nobody would have criticized her for looking rusty out there. She did not look rusty at all. This gold was the 3rd in a row for the Dutch women in this event. They won it in Munich in 2022. They won it again in Rome in 2024. Now Birmingham makes 3. Bol and Klaver have been in all 3 winning teams, which is precisely why the Netherlands are now the benchmark for women's relay running across Europe. It also completed the greatest week the Dutch have ever had at a European Championships. 14 medals in total, 5 of them gold, both national records. Their men added bronze in the 4x400 that same evening, edging Belgium by 200 ths of a second, the first medal Dutch men have ever won in that event. As for Bol personally, this pushed her past a dozen European gold medals across indoor and outdoor championships. She owns an Olympic title from Paris, where she ran a 47.93 anchor leg to steal the mixed relay away from the United States, plus World Championship golds and the world indoor record over 400m. But the anchor legs are what people genuinely remember her for. In Budapest in 2023, she fell meters from the line and cost her team a medal, then returned 6 days later and anchored the Dutch woman to world gold. In Paris, she ran down an American team that had set a world record the previous day. Give this woman a baton and a home straight, and something usually happens. So no, Femke Bol did not run the fastest single lap of her life in Birmingham. She never needed to. She took the baton with a lead that had almost evaporated, absorbed the finest anchor leg a runner could produce, and then calmly removed her from the conversation over the closing 100m. The interesting question is what comes next. She is fully committed to the 800m now, where Audrey Werro is running times the world has not seen since the 1980s, and Keely Hodgkinson is still waiting. Bol has spent exactly 1 season in the event and already owns a national record and a European medal. 1 lap or 2, she keeps finding the podium.